excuse me, I'm here. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to say something about it. I am belonging to the Nepean Carlton riding. I am on the board since '96, except for 2 years with the clash of personality that I moved out. I had been on that board for right from the beginning I joined, to be a vice president and a president, and I've been an acting member now. 2-3 days back, I received a copy from our president of the Nepean Carlton riding, forwarding the information which had come from PMO office. It was about the Prime Minister's Volunteers Award nomination. The title of the subject for the email was French first, English followed. The content completely was French, followed by English. I just managed to do that, if you could see something on that, but of course you won't be able to read it, take my word, that's a French first, followed by English. I quickly replied to the President with few lines. I don't want to go in the details, everybody has got time and I'm going to take very little. I replied it in a way that if this has come from Prime Minister's office, Conservative Party in power, and it's meant for the National Volunteer District, why is French first followed by English? Why is the title in French? Am I in Quebec? Am I dreaming? Is Canada a democratic country or not? She replied me quickly with one line. I referred it to the head office. I'm going to pursue it and say, what is the reply? Let me know. What I'm going to do and what's on my mind and what I was talking to Beth, which I want to convey to all these people who could pass it around in a cyclic reaction, that Conservative Party, we supported with the hope of doing it. Excuse of minority is gone. Being in power and in majority, if this is what they do, what are we going to expect from them? Election is not far out. As for my action, I'm going to take an appointment with my MP, have a word, have selected approaches and the events of the French language issues that we have got and talk with him. One of the things I'm going to say to him and to you people, to say, approach your MP, ask them, what are you going to do to support the English language or English-speaking people? Why are they being humiliated and made a second class at the expense of the Quebec people and the French language? If nothing is to be done, nothing could be promised, we will not donate a single dollar to the party. In my humble capacity, I do whatever I could in many ways. That's besides the point. Each of you, put it in a cyclic reaction to your friends and every member of the parliament that you know, approach them personally, email, letter, or by media, and let them know election is not far out. Now they are strapped with the money, they can't get it from the union, the corporate can't give them, and if they don't have it, ask them to take it from Quebec, which is a bankrupt province itself. Yeah. So, pass the message, don't give $1 or so, or tell them we won't if you don't support us. Thank you very much.
Myself and a delegation, including Chris Cameron, Mayor Brian McGillis, who else is that? Jean-Serge Brisson. We went and we had a meeting with the official Minister of Official Languages, James Moore, in Ottawa. And he told us, and I'm not lying, he told us 3 times, we know bilingualism has failed. It's trial and error. With our tax dollars wasting $2.3 billion a year, it's trial and error. And this is how the Conservatives are responding to forced bilingualism. Tammy.
Beth, I just want to say that I just came from the Good Roads that just happened a couple of weeks ago, and I'll tell you that conference was just packed. There's over a couple thousand people there. I think, Jack, you were there, we were talking. And when we went to the Minister's Forum, when we opened up that conference, we all have to stand aside, we all have to say, "Oh, Canada," and there's a huge screen in front of you that says, "Oh, that has all the words and everything. Half in English, half in French," and the people there were so confused, like they're starting in English, it's like, where the hell's the Western words in English? And they wouldn't even have an English version there. It was all mixed in together.
Drown them out.
It just made me sick. That
Drown
just
them
started
out.
my whole conference off. So frickin' mad, I'll tell you. And that's
I
the way
would
it's
be
going.
too.
Forever. Maybe we should go back to Old Maple Leaf forever.
No, just watch Western hockey games, they do it right.
That's the liberal agenda, though. That's the liberal agenda.
Well, it is. They're trying to switch us from British civil law to, or British common law to French civil law.
Don't McGinty has already passed the policy saying that Ontario will be and is bilingual. It's already a done deal. But we already had that separation in 1867. So they're trying to reunite us with Quebec. It failed in 1840. It failed in 1763. And it's going to fail again.
Sooner the better.
That's your decision.
Yeah, Deb, just for everyone's information, what's the population of French in the province of Ontario?
4%.
500,000.
So aren't we
4%.
spending a lot of money and effort for what, 4%?
623 million in Ontario.
This isn't a case of economics, folks. This is a case of emotion. And you can't lead emotion with economics.
And in order to take away our naval rights and freedoms, they have to take away our British heritage because it's because of our Anglo-Saxon heritage that we have naval rights and freedoms in this country. But thanks to taking away thanks to Sunday shopping and the taking away of prayer and everything else out of our school and dumbing down on religious-wise, a lot of people now don't believe in God, so they think, okay, we can go ahead and take away naval rights and freedoms. If you don't believe in God, how can you believe in naval rights and freedoms? Because those are the rights and freedoms that come from God, that come higher than man. Man is not allowed to legislate them, but if no one believes in God, how can we stop man from legislating it? And that's why they're doing this.
So how does 4% have this much of a powerful effect in a fair and balanced democracy? 4% against 96%.
Social engineering, political correctness,
They unite much better than we do.
There you go. That's true.
they get our tax dollars to sit around and plan and plot how to do this.
Well, there's an interesting question, Beth. Why don't you approach the conservative Jack's right here and ask him, since we have to use our own money to fight for what you believe is right, why don't they defund all the NGOs? You're just here in Ottawa alone, double dipping, is that the other?
We gotta get going.
30 million bucks.
Oh, Tony, one last.
Quick one, I mentioned this earlier. It's really great to see different organizations brought together. We all have the same ideas of where we don't like the provinces going, but we're not working together. If we start finding these other organizations that might be small within the province, we start bringing information together. We work through one common website, one common place. We can start affecting who we get elected in, and we can start demanding better from our politicians. Trudeau changed this when he went to party politics. He took away the right for us to fire our MPs before a 4-year term, and he brought in the concept of, well, whatever the party wants is what we're going to do. The only way to change it, like you said, is one MP at a time.
Yeah.
And that can be done. We're 96% to 4%. Come on, folks. When you start bringing in the people that you demand, will you vote this in? No? Next. Will you vote? Yes. Will you? And that's what you're looking at. You're going to get support from us by the numbers if you can support the following documentation. Will you do it? And that's how you want to change.
Chris, very quickly.
My question is Jack.
Jack, you got a question?
I don't know if you're made aware, I've got 2,800 signatures in, I have 2,800 signatures in Queen's Park. I have 2,800 signatures at Queen's Park. And it's to investigate Cornwall Community Hospital discriminatory hiring practices. I was the best applicant, they clearly chose somebody just for a bilingual basis, and that person did not have the qualifications needed, but still they filled that political mandate. Are you willing to follow up on this? Sure. Please, thank you. Because I think that
Why don't you and I talk afterwards and we can figure out which one we're happy with.
it's already in there. I'm waiting for the second review.
What is no?
It's a petition. I got
Now, now, a petition is taped, read in the legislature.
Yep, and it's for the second reading.
And then it's signed by the MP and